Benjies. Welcome to the BingeWorthy podcast, part of the Geekish Network. My name is Randy, and I've got a badass group of co-hosts with me. My first co-host is Miss Courtney Scott Wright. Courtney, say what's up to the people, man.
Hello, hello.
My next co-host is Chuck. Let them know who you are, son.
What it do, people? What it do? We are back.
The following co-host is Catherine. Say what's up to the people, Catherine.
Hey, just surviving the winter here. Hello.
As we all are. And finally, batting cleanup, Mr. Nuke from the Ville. Ricard, man, tell the people who you are, son.
Hello, Governor.
Good stuff. And we are the BingeWorthy podcast. Before we get started, I just want to give a shout out to the University of Michigan for being the national football champions and the Detroit Lions for bringing home their first playoff win in 27 years. So now we're back. We're back. We're back. Be quiet, Chuck.
Wow.
One of your thoughts.
27?
That's right.
National champions.
National champions, baby, in the house, Michigan. Detroit and Michigan, we all representing. All right, now, the purpose of the BingeWorthy podcast is that we will binge watch an entire series for a week to let you know if you should. And tonight, we are talking Disney Plus's Echo. Echo was released on January the 9th, all of the episodes, and there are 5 episodes in this season. So, I'm going to turn to my technical director, Rodney. Rodney, please let me know, how did all of the co-hosts rate Echo? And just while Rodney's pulling that up, what we do here on the BingeWorthy podcast is that at the beginning of the show, we will rate it using our BingeWorthy scale. And then at the end, we re-rate it. So, okay, I'm seeing some mixed reviews. We got snack, mini meal, snack, cringeworthy, and a mini meal.
Actually, can I change mine real quick?
Nope. Can't
Okay.
change it. That's what we had a discussion for.
Okay.
So, all right.
I'm just curious. As we begin the discussion, can you ask what her change would have been?
Yeah, we can do it after that, but yeah. All right, so,
We get it at the end. We'll get it
yeah,
at
we'll
the
get it
end.
at the end. So right now, Echo has a 2.2, so that's firmly a snack. All right, that's the initial rating for us right here. So the premise of Echo is 5 months after the events of Hawkeye, Maya Lopez is being pursued by Wilson's Fisk organization, leading her to return to her hometown in Oklahoma, where she must come to terms with her past, reconnect with her Native American roots, and embrace her family and community. So for this episode, we're going to talk about this in the terms of the writing and the acting. So for me, the show was interesting. This was interesting, and I don't really know where to kick off or what the high points or the low points are. So we're going to start with just talking about the writing. I'm going to kick it off with you, Miss Courtney Scott Wright. You are a writer. What do you think about the quality of the writing for the show? And I want everybody else to jump in and add their analysis to it.
Oh, you're on mute.
Okay.
Mm,
He's not even talking. He's
Courtney.
not even talking. Okay, you got to say something.
He said
Wait.
Courtney.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
Courtney.
Courtney. Okay, I thought you said Rikai.
okay.
Sorry.
I'm kind of with you, Randy. I think they tried really. I can't even say they tried really hard. I think their intentions were really strong. I think this is a suffer from, the right hand doesn't talk to the left hand, because had they talked to the writers of What If and made this a connection to Kaori, I think that this show could have been really, really contender, a strong contender if they had connected it to something. I thought that the actress was really strong, and I think the storyline was a bit weak just because it was all over the place. Like, they didn't really know what they wanted her to do. Like, as a writer, I feel like you should really know what your character is going to do at the end of a series. And it felt like they just kind of decided it as they were going. And I could be wrong, but other than that fight scene where we had uh you know a huge cameo character that dropped in that is connected to this world, and that's in the first episode. I it didn't live up to that moment. I was really excited by that moment. So, and it didn't pan out per se.
Okay, I can get that. So, you guys, what do y'all think? Ricardo, yeah, what do y'all think about the writing?
Yes,
How
me.
did the plot, Ricardo, how did the plot influence your rating? And I want you all to talk. How do you think the plot influenced your rating?
Listen, thinking about the show, all I can think of like dumpster fire, bag of trash on fire, like that little juice that's in the bottom of like a
Oh
dumpster.
Lord.
Oh.
When I was talking to Chuck the other day, the question came up was, did we need this story? And this Marvel Spotlight is something new where they're going to take stories of different characters in the Marvel universe and give us kind of what they did in comic books is called like a one shot, where you can watch 25 previous Marvel movies to understand where this character comes in. Like, it wasn't even necessary for you to watch the Hawkeye series to get into this character. So on the strength of that, I like that. You can tell small stories. This felt like a 3-hour movie that nobody would want to watch. So we cut it into 5 pieces. My problem with them is where it worked before for them to change Ms. Marvel's powers, they should have left Maya Lopez alone. We didn't
Oh,
get
can you
any
tell us
real.
what are her comic book powers?
Her comic book powers are that she has photographic reflexes. So she is deaf. She was born deaf, but she is a prodigy, and her photographic reflexes are so good that so like there's a scene in the comic books where she's sent to a school because they think something's wrong with her. They think she's special on the low end, and someone was in there playing the piano. She could not hear the piano, but she could like feel the vibrations. So while the person was playing, she went up and felt like put her hand on the piano. And from feeling the vibrations, they thought that she was just being rude and she was being unruly. And she's a little girl at this time. The person gets up from the piano, she sits down and plays exactly what the lady just played. Like, she's that good. Like, she could read lips so good that she could mimic the words. So actually she could talk, and people didn't know that she was deaf because she remembered the words even though she couldn't hear it. She had photographic reflexes, and even once Wilson Fisk kind of took her on and put her in a school for prodigies, she had I don't want to say like superhuman reflexes, but higher than natural reflexes, almost like a Olympian level athlete.
So she's essentially Taskmaster.
Yes, she is
Yes,
Taskmaster.
she was Taskmaster, but through continuous training and things like that, like even to the point where later on in her story, she she became an Avenger, and she even got the Phoenix Force. She was Phoenix Echo. Yeah, she got the Phoenix Force. Like, that's how much of a character it was, and that's how far of a departure what we got.
Yeah.
Is
yeah.
she of
I
Native
don't.
American?
She was. Now in the comics, she was Cheyenne. She wasn't Choctaw. She was Cheyenne. But the actress Alaqua Cox, she's actually Choctaw.
Mm-hmm.
So they leaned into her own
And that makes
heritage.
They collaborated with that.
The Choctaw Nation.
Yeah, with the Choctaw Nation, but they changed it from the comic books to Cheyenne to Choctaw to accommodate Alaqua Cox's actual background. So
that makes
Yeah.
sense.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. I hate that this story I didn't really care about this character, and that is the biggest tragedy of this. I wanted to like this so bad. Like before it came out, Chuck was like, "Oh, this is gonna be terrible." I wanted him to be wrong so badly. I wanted this to work. Um, After they gave a Secret Invasion, I was like, "Oh, we just out here spending money, and we not like at least. I mean, if you weren't gonna give me like a big special effects budget, give me a great story. Give me a believable story where I could actually character this character."
But do you think that your familiarity with the comic book character influenced your feelings about the TV show character?
No, because I didn't know a whole lot about Echo before I watched it.
And I didn't
Mm.
either.
I
I
because
didn't either.
Echo never had her own comic book. Echo was always a character in someone else's comic book. And then after she was in Hawkeye, I read up on her a little bit, and I was like, oh, okay, she's basically a bootleg Taskmaster. And it was after this series, I was like, what is the deal? So I read up on her just to see, because as she developed these native powers from from her people, which that could have been so cool. And it just I still ended the series not knowing what it was that she did besides being a very poor imitation of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
that that's where I wanted to go with this.
Go
Like
ahead.
they made her bootleg Aang, and it was like at the end she didn't fight Wilson Fisk. She put her hands on him and took his power away. I was like, damn, they just really did take Avatar: The Last Airbender when Aang got all the
The,
avatars behind him to bring back that long term memory history of all the avatars. They did the
and
same
took
thing with her.
Fire Lord Ozai took his
You know,
powers.
and took
Oh,
and yep. And I
I-
was
But did
like,
she take his power?
yeah, I
Oh,
thought
we
she
yeah,
guess
fixed
we
his
just
heart.
she
spoiler
takes his
alert.
power.
I don't
Powers
think
did
that she took his
Wilson
powers.
Fisk have?
I think
She
she
took his
took away.
anger.
Yeah, she took away his rage.
That's part of his power, though. That's part of Wilson Fisk's power. Is
Mm.
his
Yeah,
rage allows him to tear through walls like Juggernaut. He's
Yeah,
kind of
he's
like
super
Juggernaut
strong. I
without
wouldn't say
armor.
Juggernaut strong, but he's
But
super.
he's kind of like Juggernaut without armor.
Yeah.
I
He's
mean,
kind
yeah,
of
I
Um,
mean, he
it's
got
saber
shot.
tooth.
He got shot in the face, and
Yes.
he's out here, doing his
Yeah.
thing. Like
Yeah,
he
he's
got
got some
shot in
sort of
the
armor.
eye, and just he's still
That's
out
where they
here.
lost me. And he still had the eye.
Well,
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
because he doesn't die easy. Like he has fallen off buildings and fallen through buildings and
I hear
survived.
that.
yeah, and
But
the
Thor
thing
is a
is,
god, and
yeah,
he lost his eye.
well, the thing is,
But Thor has human-like powers, and he
all of
doesn't
that is
have that.
muscle under him. Like Wilson Fisk in like the comics is like 400 pounds of brute muscle. Like
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. But he's kind
I
of like
just
Luke
needed
Cage too.
yeah, I would say Luke Cage. I'd give Luke
I
Yeah,
Cage.
just
he's
needed
kind of like
her
Luke Cage.
eye, his eye to like not be there. She
No.
did heal his eye too.
Yeah, he'll have the scar. The scar will eventually heal. He will eventually heal because that's what Wilson Fisk does. It will
Right.
eventually heal.
Oh,
I,
Catherine, what about you? What did you think about the writing?
Sorry, just
Uh,
car went out of
Catherine,
control for a little bit. What I think about the writing, it was like white bread, but no pun intended.
my bread
But
as it's plain.
yeah, very
Yeah.
plain. Like I didn't really know much about the character before watching this. I barely knew that it was out. Like there wasn't really a lot of advertisement for it, so I'm like, oh, okay, this is out, okay. But it was very plain. Um, didn't really. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the Daredevil show. I actually couldn't get through the second season, so I didn't really care. I don't think you needed Daredevil in the show at all in the beginning. Oh, I should probably have put spoilers. I'm sorry if I spoiled that for anyone. But but yeah, it was okay. Like I like the Native American aspects of it, but I wish I agree. Like I felt like that character, the main character, wasn't that interesting. Um, and the ending of the villain, I kind of thought she fixed his heart. I'm like, oh, she healed his heart. Because like I've always seen what is it, Kingpin as a giant puppy, like just a kicked puppy that was upset.
Oh,
So at the end, I'm like, oh, she just fixed his heart because he's like a angry puppy. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That makes
It
sense.
is
That's
not
funny.
a
That
creep.
ma-
Oh,
that
he's so
makes
That
sense.
is
horrible human
Oh,
so
being.
funny.
that is a great analogy. I like that analogy,
So
Cap. I
horrible
think you
human
totally
being.
nailed it. You totally
That is
nailed it.
um,
hilarious.
He's
I
a
love it.
pug. He's a
He's a
pug who
pug.
takes a dump in
oh
your
my
shoes
goodness.
when you're
Oh,
going to
Lord.
sleep because he's mad at you because you
Yeah.
gave him a treat when he asked for one.
I mean, he almost broke his plane, even though they
Yeah,
they
yeah,
didn't show it. I'm like, it's freaking
yeah,
to get off.
yeah, yeah. Like his motivations are so weird to me. Like I'm mad because you're not coming with me, but they never really truly established on why she should go with him. Only thing he did was beat up the ice cream man because the ice cream man treated her like she could hear and he didn't like it. And she turned around and kicked him one time. They didn't go through the prep school. They didn't do any of that stuff. What we saw
No,
the
yeah.
last when we saw her, she watched her dad get killed by Hawkeye. Spoiler alert for anybody who didn't see Hawkeye. And we thought something was wrong with him. I mean, I like the Choctaw parts, but I hate the fact they didn't use any of that culture as a plot device.
Mm-mm.
But
Yeah.
here's
That's what I was gonna say to
It's a
Rakai's
tragedy.
point. Like,
Yeah.
did we need this story? I
Mhm.
think we did need this story, not the story we got.
Yeah,
But
part.
I
That
think
part.
that we definitely needed to see a
Yes.
Native American Avenger, like a hero, like the actual first Avenger. You know what I mean? Like it would have been so dope if they had
yeah,
done it to its deserving, to its worth. You know,
yeah.
there's
They,
a wealth of this community, a wealth. I love the signing, the fact that even the crew learned how to sign. Like that is
Mhm.
something that like everybody learned how to sign, you
Yeah.
know, and to show a an actor who is, you know, representative of not just one community, like three communities. You know what I mean? Like ASL, uh, Native American, and then also she's actually an amputee. You know, so like it was a rich wealth, and I think I was just hurt that they didn't really give her, and the actress, I know you guys said you didn't care about her. I think because I cared about Alakwa Ka. I cared. I thought that she did a really good job for someone who has never acted before. She legit was working at Amazon and FedEx. And her friends were like, yo, we saw this casting. This is literally you. She did such a good job. And I think that I connected to her and her
I
I,
pain.
I
I go ahead.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Go ahead,
Uh,
Rakai. Go ahead, Rakai.
I
I
Okay.
agree with everything that you just said. From what I understand is the way that Maya Lopez is depicted in the comic books is she's more typical, stereotypical, like beauty queen type or whatever. And they said that when Alakwa Cox came into the audition, straight out of Amazon, never acted before, she blew them away in the audition, and they changed the part to fit her. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with them changing her from being Cheyenne to Choctaw to fit her. I'm okay with, because at least one of the native nations was. And in what you were saying, I hate that when people are talking about um this was woke, right? But I think representation is important. And so many of the other, Black Panther, Shang-Chi, Kahori, and Maya Lopez, that all these different um, peoples got someone who represented them. What I don't like about this is that they use the Choctaw Nation as this backdrop, and we didn't get to
set
understand
dressing.
anything
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
the like, to me, they said, "Oh, this is Choctaw Nation. So look over there. That's an authentic Choctaw rug. Look over there. It's an authentic painting. Look over there. We
Museum.
put some real stuffs on the, like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's we didn't get
We
any
spoke
sense.
in their native language,
Yeah,
but
we got zero
Yeah.
sense of the Choctaw people, the Choctaw Nation, and anything besides the small bit that they put in episode 5 for the celebration. Um, and that's even the only time really that the set was populated. Because I was like, did they shoot this during COVID? Because there was
They
like
did.
no one in town. There was no one on the set at any time. I was like, this is this is not a good representation. We didn't get to understand what our powers were and what that meant.
Mhm.
We got to see, these echoes of people in the past, but we didn't understand anything about her powers, her set, what she could do, the extent of it. We didn't get to
Or
understand
even
anything
the
about it.
first woman.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We don't know what we don't know what the circle, like what the markings meant. We don't know it. Yeah.
what
Yeah.
we got 5 episodes. We got 3 hours, and I felt like we have been to Wakanda. I've seen Wakanda. We have been to Namor's little place. We spent 20 minutes there, and I got a better sense of that place than I did of this Choctaw, her
Omaha.
town. Yeah.
Tamaha.
Tamaha,
Tomahawk.
Tamaha.
Oklahoma, which is a real town, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
I went to uh Shang-Chi, where he came from, the little mystic place, and we didn't get any sense of that here. And I think it is beyond a missed opportunity. And I think, they screened this. They did the original premiere at the Choctaw Nation's, like, pavilion center or whatever. I think the Choctaw people were extreme, and I'm just guessing that they were extremely appreciative that represented. But
I
if you
bet you
go
they were.
back and go back and look at it, analytically, an injustice was done to them because it should have been so much more.
Mhm. What
That's
bothered
just my
me
opinion.
was they could have gave her the Taskmaster powers from the original woman. Like she came from the caves, came above ground, and
Hmm.
brought her people above ground during a great shake. And then she could have looked at animals and looked at other things and learned all their skills and taught all her people those skills. That would have been dope. Like I had this ability to learn everything just by looking at it one time and just learn it. And it could have been passed down to Amaya. I'm also upset they didn't put Maya on the superhero workout plan because the original character is an Olympic level athlete. She's one of the best Olympic level athletes. I understand their need not to wanting to change her, but that would have been dope. Like she's more fit than Black Canary. She's more fit than Black Widow. She's like Huntress. She looks at them and laughs like
Well,
y'all are not that tough.
what do you mean? Like in terms of her fighting ability? Is
Like
that
the
what you're talking
fighting
about?
ability, her movement, her dexterity. Like she's a gymnast. She's basically
No,
a super gymnast.
I understand that, but I thought given like Alakwa Cox, I thought that she did a good job
Uh,
with like her, like I thought I thought that on paper like she looked the part. I just don't. I
yeah,
guess I don't
I
understand what you
mean,
mean about like the superhero diet,
like
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 the or not diet, but superhero
like have
workout.
her be like super physical and movement, jump through windows. Be what a Daredevil is, cause she could beat Daredevil. She can beat Daredevil. She can
Yeah,
beat
I think that's
Beast.
why Fist
The
said that you're the first one to get that far with him.
but
Like like
here
like like
here's
you
but
could beat all
here's
of them.
but here's where the writing failed her. And and I get Chuck's point where she doesn't look like it or whatever, but I mean, Wilson Fisk don't look like what he can do or whatever either. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's fantasy, it's superhero stuff.
Yeah.
Here's where the writing failed her. Episode 1, you get this cameo, and she goes toe to toe with him on her first mission ever. Her first mission out ever. She goes toe to toe with him, and even Kingpin's like, wow, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't believe that you did that good. Like, most people don't even make it back. Like, and then we get nothing of that throughout the rest of the episode. When she got in a fight with the little Russian dudes, the Black Knife Gang in the skating rink, we got to see that a little bit, but that still wasn't at the level of
Mm-mm.
the fight in the first episode. And then we're gearing up for a war. Wilson Fisk and his people, they come in episode 4 and episode 5, and all we get is this. What?
You know?
One bullet was fired. One bullet was fired in episode 5.
Yeah, like I expect to see her like on T'Challa's level of combat. Like she's
Well,
that grade of person.
in terms of the trajectory of the story that they crafted, I did appreciate the fact that she did have an arc. Now, we may not have agreed with her arc, and it may not be the arc that we wanted, but she started out from a place of like really solidified and rooted in her anger. And just the trajectory of where she went and who she became. I think the failure was we only had 5 episodes. We needed at least 8 so that they could truthfully tell this story. And B, to have it earned. Her loss or her coming to terms and grips with her anger wasn't earned. I see what the writer was trying to do. They just didn't give us enough intel to show that she came to grips with it and made peace in those moments, because she didn't. You know what I mean? And like, at least not enough, not in what we were given.
Yeah. And
3 more
Um,
episodes would have killed me for this
the
show.
only,
Where
but if it had been told a different way, like,
I
I
should have.
understand.
but,
Huh?
but
The
that
only reason I
but
didn't give this thing a cringeworthy was because I felt guilty because y'all said she touched on all of those communities, the deaf community, the being one leg community, and all those things. I felt the show was really bad, and I don't think we needed this
You
show.
say the one leg community.
yeah.
The disabled community, the deaf community, and what was the other one we said?
What
I
is
don't
the
know.
one leg community?
The native
I feel
community,
like
the
that's the
native
only.
community. Yeah, he
Yeah,
said that's long as
and
I didn't give
the
it
and the
cringeworthy.
and the Native American community. We could have kept this show in the vaults of Marvel. I feel like this is one of the nails in the coffins that people have been talking about superhero fatigue. I feel like this is one of those nails in the coffin because we just out here making up stuff to fill up airtime. That's just my opinion. That's how I.
Yeah,
There-
I
I
didn't
think
think
I think
that.
they denied who this character really was too. I just think like you went against this whole complete character to make this very woke ass story about handling anger. That from this character is Taskmaster, can beat Taskmaster, mind you, and can beat Deadpool, and yet here it is, you are making this person fall down to some goons in a damn roller rink
Oh,
Yeah,
after fighting Daredevil.
That somehow survived. I don't know. I saw them get shot. They fell down and then they came back up, and I was really confused about that part. But that's just a small thing.
here's the thing: the director and the executive producer said that she thought um that Maya Lopez having Taskmaster's skills, like the uh photo reflexive memory, um, was lame. So, and that's why she chose to change the powers.
Let's change the whole character. Let's change the whole character.
Yeah, I think it just should have
But
been a new
she
character.
said that.
But then,
Yeah.
yes, she said that.
Let's change the character.
But then change it to what? Because we still didn't get any real definition of what the powers were that she got from her people. I don't even mind that
Oh,
you
no.
gave that you said, okay, she's going to get something that comes from her tribe. But what was it? The only cool thing that we saw with that was somehow now she's able to pass it on. She throws it off to her sister and to her grandmother, and they, do a judo move, and you know what I'm saying, they get out of being captives for 5 seconds. What? And then she's healing people's hearts. Like, I mean, I don't mind her arc. I thought her arc was cool, and I understand, like, we didn't get enough of a real scene with her mom came back and she had that moment with her mom. The best scene as far as her arc was the scene with her grandmother.
Yes.
Her grandmother killed that scene.
But her
grandma-
grandmother she is like a legend.
Yeah.
She was in, I don't know if you ever watched Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman,
Mhm.
but she was and has always
Yeah, what's her
been
name?
the truth.
Yeah, she killed that scene.
She killed
Now,
like
I
from the
didn't
beginning to the end. Yeah.
now I didn't understand the writing where she's hurt because her daughter died and she blames it on the father, but so she just kind of, because the daughter was, Maya was, daddy's girl, so I'm mad at you too, so you're banished, whatever, you don't come around for 20 years. Like,
No, that wasn't it.
that's but it
She
was just
said you looked
weird.
like her. She said you reminded me
and
of your mother, and her heart
What
was
gonna
broken.
keep her?
I thought it was her
Hmm?
father.
No. She said that
No,
you look.
no,
She
Like
did.
her mother. Yeah, she said she looked like her mother.
She said
no.
you look like your
I
mother.
I remember that, but it's still they had this grudge that went on for 20 years.
You don't see your
People
granddaughter
do
for
that
20
all the
years.
time. Like,
I, I don't know. I
I
mean,
don't
I
know
So
can
that
no
see.
wasn't her fault. It
I
wasn't
don't
her
know
fault.
no
was it?
grandmothers that cut off their grandchildren.
Oh no, now that I do.
Oh, I
Listen,
don't know.
Okay,
you
okay.
ain't met my father's peoples. Like, listen.
Okay.
Hey. Mark said this in the chat. Only binged it because I was in full indigenous mode from watching Reservation Dogs and Dark Winds. I agree with him on that. And this didn't do the same service of showcasing indigenous culture at all. as it
Reservation
did.
Dogs is awesome.
Awesome. I mean, it nailed it. I haven't seen Dark Winds, but I hear it's good.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to watch that. I haven't seen it yet either.
Mm-hmm.
What
Which
channel is that
also
on?
has Dark Winds, just like Reservation Dogs had Maya's father
Mhm.
in that
Mhm.
too.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, he was the sheriff.
mm-hmm.
So we talked about the writing. Let's Catherine, switch transition over to you. What'd you think about the quality of the acting for the overall show?
I just definitely recognize some actors. Sorry, I just recognized one of them from like New Moon and Twilight, but I'm glad he was
Oh,
working.
yeah.
But
I had to Google him. I had to Google him.
Her uncle. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
like, hey,
Yeah.
he's got a
Yeah.
Uncle
job.
He
Henry.
was one of the werewolves. Yep.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
yeah,
he was Sam, the leader.
Yeah.
Annoying.
yep. I felt like some of the there was some good acting. Like I don't remember that actress name you just mentioned, but the grandma was good. Um, yeah, but I think it's just mostly writing and story and um pacing with throughout the series and just I think that this should have just been a new character altogether instead of like an established character. Um, but yeah, writing wise, I mean not writing wise, acting wise, I thought there was some standout acting, but a lot of it was like kind of average, I guess. So
Talk about you, man. Jumping there. We talking about acting. Any standout performances to you?
Uh,
Any of you guys?
no, I don't think there were standout performances. I thought everybody did okay. Like the show was already suffering from bad writing and a bad plot from the beginning to the end. So no matter how good the writing, how good the acting was going to be, it's just going to be okay. And I agree that this could have been trimmed down to 2 hours and 20 minutes and been a halfway decent movie
I would have been
with
like nice.
Daredevil popping up. This, I mean, if I need another scenery scene flying over the city and her in a raggedy ass pickup truck or a motorcycle driving around, I was like, Jesus Christ, this is Lord of the Rings? All this damn motorcycle
oh my
riding all through the
gosh.
city. The city's only 3 blocks. It's only 3 freaking blocks.
At least
She
Lord of the
rode
Rings was
the
like,
hell out of that motorcycle. Like,
yeah.
I
is this a
mean, she
commercial?
ain't run out of gas at all. She
I
had
was
one
say
tank
we
of
ain't see
gas.
one gas station in that whole.
She went on one tank of gas. She didn't put I don't want y'all to tell grandma I'm here. I'm like, girl, there's only three. My grandmother's from that town. It's called Verda, and there's only 3 streets, and everybody knows each other. Of course she's gonna know you're here. She works for the damn post office.
Also, why didn't she just clean her cut? That bothered me throughout. She just like tried to sew it up, like you don't clean it.
I thought that too. I was like, you don't have any alcohol? You don't even, I mean, some soap and water. At least start with soap and water.
Man.
Like,
Yeah,
Alcohol doesn't last 20 years. It evaporates over time.
yeah, but
I just
like,
made that up.
well, I mean, that house
I
didn't
just
have
made
dust.
that up.
That house didn't have dust. It didn't have sheets over anything.
None.
It looked brand new.
It looked brand
Like
new.
somebody been over there dusting and vacuuming and living life. Living biscuits probably been living in there.
Biscuit's been over there
Mhm.
smoking. He's been smoking
Mhm.
them biscuits.
But yeah, like listen.
Disco biscuits.
Listen, biscuits
Disco
saying not today, Nahalo had me screaming. Screaming. That's
Yeah.
like my new favorite phrase. Every time I mean, not today, Nahalo.
Yeah.
Up to be my like
I did like that
catchphrase for
part.
2024.
I liked the part where that the grandpa guy was like he was doing like a fictitious chant, but he was saying buy this thing. I think he said buy this MFer thing, but
Yeah.
it's just funny to me.
To the when the white people see the in terms of acting, Randy, the weakest links, and and I respect what everybody said. I can't combat anything that anybody said. I stand by Chuck and Rakai and Catherine. But I will say that the white people were the worst.
Yeah.
Especially the white characters, I should say. The two girls in the roller rink. And I was like, are you kidding me? Were 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 these PAs that you upgraded? Because I don't think that they've ever acted in their lives, and especially
Ever.
don't know how to be realistic, even though it's a comic book TV series. They were not strong. Like if you think about the actress, and I was not a huge fan of She-Hulk, but the actress who played the crazy girl who was in love with Wong,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
destroyed it. I wanted her to come back. When I was like, this chick needs, like, she needs. I don't think She-Hulk's coming back, but if it did, I needed her to be a series regular because she stole the freaking show for me. These actors, I don't know what happened or where they got them, but I was annoyed because it's like, and you bring in these second rate like Goonies that are not even menacing
Right.
or
It
a
was so corny.
challenge.
Yeah.
But on top of
They were
that,
comical.
on top of that, so she in the first episode fights Daredevil to a standstill, and then gets taken hostage by the dude who
Yeah.
cleans the skates. And these two
Yeah, that was
trailer
really-
park rejects for
Yeah.
real.
Yeah. There's a lot of questionable things.
Well, I mean, and it's also kind of like that moment of her being kidnapped was kind of disrespectful to the character because the character, just because you're taking advantage of the fact that you think that as a deaf woman that she wouldn't have instincts, especially someone who's been working in the streets as an assassin, that she wouldn't have instincts to know that somebody is behind her.
Yeah.
And and even if I know chloroform, I've never been chloroformed, don't ever want to be chloroformed. Listen, she could have got some kind of elbow in there. You just can't tell me that that dude took her to like half rate townie.
She
Like,
should beat the brakes off of him.
Look like he's been doing meth. Look like he's been doing meth in the back of the
Yes.
skating ring.
I do.
I was
but when she
shocked.
made that skate gun, that was funny.
I do.
But then she still didn't even get out.
I
He
do.
still
Find
didn't get out.
Go ahead, Catherine.
Oh.
Go ahead, Catherine.
maybe I don't know if it's just the actor's background, but I was kind of like surprised that she couldn't lip read better, and that when people were not, when people were not signing, I'm like, she must have like some sort of instinct for like lip reading, but she didn't. So
Not everyone does.
oh, okay.
No.
Not all deaf people can
this
lip read.
character would. I was thinking
Yeah, this character.
This
did.
character, I agree, she would.
Mm-hmm.
This character should have.
Yeah. I guess
but
more.
But I'm the creator of the show, and I don't like any of those powers. So I just made up non-powers that are powers.
And I do have just a quick question. Was Wilson Fisk, was he close to her in the comics? And what's really the nature behind that?
So that part where he had her father killed, he manipulated Ronan to actually killing her father or whatever. He did take her under his wing, and he did raise her almost like a daughter. So that is true to the comics. Yeah, like
she would have been Kate Bishop.
She even found in the comics, she found out that he was the one who really orchestrated her father's death. But when she shot him like 9 times. He didn't die, but she turned him into Swiss cheese.
Yeah, she put holes in him. It's really interesting because I was like, this one was Black Widow's ass, Gamora's, and everybody's ass. What the hell is going on here?
This little redneck town.
It's not a redneck town. It's the
redneck village. The redneck village.
Wait, what?
It's not even the res, and that's I did appreciate that about Tamaha. That most of the time when you see things that are Native Americans, it's always shown on the res. But in here, their town. It's not
Tomahawk's not
on.
a res. It's
No,
not a res attached
no,
to it.
it's an actual town with mayor and the whole thing. It's like a
Mm.
real western town, but it is, you know, if you think about I don't know, like Flint, Michigan is percent African American or something like that.
Mhm.
Tomahawk is high population Native Americans as
Okay.
well. So it's there. But it's not on the reservation.
Okay.
So did the series pronounce the name of the city wrong?
Tomahawk.
They were saying Tamaha.
I mean, and it may be that. I'm just saying.
No,
I
no,
don't
no, no,
know.
no. I want to know because it's
No,
like Ang and Ang.
No, I actually don't know. So if I'm saying it
Oh,
wrong,
okay.
I may be saying it wrong.
Well, you don't
so.
like
I mean,
Ang?
I could have.
No,
you could be
no.
right, and maybe I heard it wrong. But I was just curious.
No, if that's the way they said it in the show, I didn't listen.
Sokka and Soka.
All I remember about the town was that she's riding a motorcycle everywhere. She's
No
she's
gas
on a
station.
motorcycle.
In the
Remember,
same
three-
water tower.
You don't need a gas station when there's only 3 blocks, Randy. They only have one stop sign. In the whole
Man,
entire
she
town, they
bought
have
that
one
thing
stop
from New
sign.
York City.
Not even a stoplight, stop sign.
She could have rode that motorcycle around there for 3 months, and I had to fill up that gas.
Not fill up, man.
All right. Anything else?
And
y'all wanna
nobody
talk
else
about?
like Biscuit saying, "Not today, not
No,
it was just me."
no, I like that. I did like that when he came out in that monster truck. I did like that part.
Yeah, that was.
You didn't
I
like
think
that part?
I think
Randy?
after Biscuits wrecked Chula's truck, like he completely disappeared from the series.
He made a monster truck.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, you
In
saw
a
him
day.
to the junkyard, and maybe he
Monster
had
trucks
that.
are there.
Maybe he had that super ooh wee he was smoking on, and just
I do.
you know,
I liked him saying that because it reminds me of him saying of Hawaiian saying howley.
yeah.
And not today, howley.
Hmm.
Howley is the term for white people there, and it means soulless individual.
Oh,
Oh.
damn.
Oh.
I do feel like when I think it's like the first or second episode where they're like, "Oh, do you remember me? We did whatever," and like we had that flashback earlier. And like I wish we got like smaller introductions to where they're like just kind of randomly introduced. They're like, okay, she knows them from here. But that was kind of
Here's a problem I had that goes right along with what you just said, Catherine. What I'm assuming there had to be somebody else in town who's deaf, because ain't nobody seen Maya in 20 years, but everybody else is still signing like they saw her yesterday. Like that is a perishable skill. If
Yeah.
you don't use it, you lose it. I don't care
Yeah.
what nobody says. That's speaking languages and signing. At one time,
Hey.
I could sign a few things.
I
Maybe
thought
Listen,
the
right,
same.
right
maybe
now,
she
the only thing
used-
I can sign is, you know what I'm saying, West Side. Like you know what I'm saying, I'm out.
I mean, Uncle Henry obviously forgot because his signing was terrible.
And that I think that was an actor's choice, that he made more of an effort to seem like he was trying, but everybody else was signing perfectly, and I was like, really?
You know what happened was with her power of making people do things, she made them sign better, and we just didn't see it glow. It
She
was
healed them.
lightweight use of her power. And see, y'all
She healed their
y'all
memories,
messing up.
just like
Y'all
she healed
missing
the
the
spirit.
signs. They've been telling us about her
Like
power the whole
Wilson,
entire
and then she
time.
healed theirs.
Like an M.
and
Night
then you know it.
Shyamalan movie. They've been telling us about her powers the whole entire time by making everybody sign.
You know what else I thought?
Because
with
like
her mo-
I'm tired of this guy. I'm really tired of this guy. He's been like this
Oh my
all
God.
week. He's been like this.
With her
Sorry,
mom.
Courtney.
Go ahead, Courtney.
No, I when they finally flashed back to her mom and her in the truck, and like, and then she had that moment with her mom, you know, I was a little disappointed that, and again, maybe I'm writing a story that wasn't there, or and my expectations and my brain writing a story that wasn't there. I wanted to see like it. I wanted to see her mom had like healed her, like little girl Maya, and that's why her mom died. You know what I mean? Like her mom healed her in the car and then gave the last bits of her life in order to do that.
Listen,
And
while I was
again-
watching it, I said that out loud. I said, "Oh, that's how her mom's gonna her mom's gonna heal her and sacrifice, give her life to heal her daughter. I said the same thing, and it didn't happen. I was like, missed opportunity.
Missed opportunity.
Yeah.
No, her mom healed the woodpecker
there he
and
go.
gave it life, and it survived for 20 years. It
And
survived for
followed it
20
all around.
years.
20,
Yeah,
200, 200
Yeah.
years, because Chuck
Yeah,
Todd was seeing
yeah,
the
yeah.
same friggin'
Yeah, the same
woodpecker.
woodpecker, and the woodpecker
CGI
guided her
woodpecker.
and told her where her auntie or her grandma and her cousin were at, and she went in
That
there and
was the
saved them.
Raven from
And what
Game of
y'all didn't
Thrones.
see is they showed the mom and the auntie, a mom and her cousin, the mom and her grandma and her cousin fighting the guys with the new power. If they would have panned to the back of her, you saw the woodpecker taking out other soldiers, other goons in
All right,
there.
we got
But we
woodpecker.
didn't see that.
All right,
Y'all
Randy,
missed
Randy,
that
can
story.
you mute his mic?
We about to re-rate it now because we ain't got nowhere else to
Yeah.
go. So
Oh.
When I saw that bird,
You missed it. You missed it.
Catherine.
It was
when I saw
pecking
that
away
bird,
back there.
I saw that bird, it made me think of that little bird from the Golden Child.
oh god.
Golden Child.
Oh, when he
Yeah, Brother
I want
Noomsy.
Eddie Murphy.
Old Eddie Murphy movie.
It's a great
Yeah,
movie,
Brother
Catherine.
Noomsy.
You have to
Brother
watch
Noomsy.
it, Catherine. You got to watch it.
Never watched it. but-
Terrible fun. It's terrible
Oh,
fun.
It's an
Terrible
amazing
fun.
movie. Amazing movie.
Brother
Ghost
Noomsday.
Town is great.
It's great,
know.
especially in
Terrible
comparison to
fun.
this show.
Wait, Golden Child or Ghost Child?
Golden
No,
Child.
Golden Child. The
okay.
Golden Child.
Okay,
The Golden Child.
Golden
All right, let's
Child.
re-rate this thing. Unless
Wait,
you
Catherine, did you have something else to say? Were you
Yeah,
trying to say something?
Sorry, I will say one thing that I thought was very fascinating, but that's from the tech side. I like the use of contacts and sign languages
Oh,
and having
that
that
was dope.
interpretation.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
dope. That was dope.
That
Yeah.
was dope.
That was
Yeah.
dope.
I saw that and I was like, "Ooh, Google gonna sue somebody." Like, I
Well,
said,
there's already augmented
like-
reality contacts, so it's just level up version.
Well, that's why when I saw it, I was like, you know what? Somebody probably got that. Like, that's probably that we'll see in 2 years. Apple or Google or somebody will drop that in like 2 years or something. So
Yeah, the lazy man sign language.
Yo, the best scene in this whole entire show
oh Lord.
was the interpreter, the sign language interpreter, getting shot in the back of her head, walking down the hallway.
For no reason.
Yeah.
No, because he said there can be nobody in between us, and there can be any signs of this. And so she walked into the room, saw the plastic everywhere, and didn't think she was gonna get killed. She didn't think it was gonna be her time.
See,
Yeah,
the
that
thing
was-
that I hated about that scene is when he said that, it's like, okay, this is his rule. However, at the end, when him and Maya are going back and forth, and she said, you know, here you are, you come with your fancy tech, you got your little contact to do the signing for you. You were too lazy and didn't care enough about me to even learn how to
Yeah.
sign over these. Like,
That could have been
That was a
smooth.
great line.
I felt her when she said that. I was like, you damn right. I said, it's almost like when Americans travel abroad, we don't
Right, but I
even
love
learn
you.
conversational stuff.
Mhm.
You know, we go to other people's countries and be like, why ain't y'all speaking American? Like, what?
And what makes it crazier, the juxtaposition that everybody in the town remembers sign language, anticipating her to come back.
We talked.
Yeah.
They've been signing for 20 years to nobody, but
That became their secret handshake.
he
But
was
you
with her
said her
every day.
power- You see, her powers made him remember that. So
Don't listen to him.
Yeah, I did. I
He
did
was-
say that.
He was talking about the
I'm just
woodpecker
saying.
was taking out people.
I'm
And
just saying, he brought up, you know, they didn't remember. Like you just said that her powers.
They
They
were
went-
in a barn full of goons with weapons, and then one goon shoot anybody. The woodpecker was taking everybody out.
I'm just saying. All right, man, we re-rating this thing. Chuck, how you gonna re-rate it?
Cringeworthy.
Courtney, how are you gonna re-rate it, man?
I'm going up to a mini meal.
Mini meal. Okay.
Thanks, Courtney.
Rakai,
That's called balance. Thank you.
Rakai, how you gonna re-rate this thing?
is there something lower than cringeworthy?
No meal, nothing.
Okay, well, I stay
Empty
at
plate?
cringeworthy then.
Starving.
Hungry.
Starving.
Starving.
Man, I had it at a snack, but I still feel compelled to have to like some because they're deaf, disabled, and Native American. So that's the only thing that stopped me from taking it from a snack to a cringeworthy. So I'm gonna keep mine at a snack.
Missed opportunity.
Randy, I'm gonna keep it as a snack because what you just said there, that made me move up.
Yeah,
Give it to
because
you.
it's like
Because I do like the actress. I thought they did her disservice and injustice Just
as,
like
as a
white.
matter of fact, at this point, I think they owe her. She needs to be in Young
Yeah.
Avengers or something. She needs to be in something else where we get something real from her because
No.
they did her
What they're gonna
dirty.
what they're
They
I
gonna
did
say?
was
her
They
dirty.
tried to
expecting
make
Miss Marvel to show up at the end. I've got a team.
Yeah, but she's
I did
recruiting
scroll.
like teenagers and young adults. Like
She
Maya's like
young.
30.
Well, Kate
Maya's like
Bishop.
30.
Kate Bishop's like
She
22.
is not supposed to be 30.
Yeah, she was gone for 20 years. She left when she was like 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
fair.
All right, Captain.
Fair.
What about you? How you gonna re-rate it?
Snack. I also agree. Like, I like the Native American aspects and signing stuff, but yeah, it's the writing and just the direction suffers. And it's a shame that the Native American stuff is more of a backdrop. And
Man, you know what they did?
That director, she really screwed it. I'm sorry, Chuck. I interrupted you.
No, you're right. You're fine. That's what I was gonna say. I said the director and them set them up. We're like, we're gonna get the native something and make it the shittiest shit ever.
they
And they
gentrified
did
it.
that.
They
And-
gentrified it.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's like
I kept it cringeworthy only because, and I agree that I love the fact that we Native Americans, we had ASL, we had the disabled community all in one. But I think what they presented us for all of those communities was not worthy. Like I can't give it a snack or anything higher just because it's those communities. They did a disservice to all of those communities with what they presented to us. And I think it's tragic. I think it's tragic because I wanted to like this so
Randy.
badly.
I guess I can't.
I know. Well, Mark in the chat gave it a snack too. So the rating is a snack.
I've seen worse stuff though. So like I guess that's why I have
Yeah.
this. It's not like a Made for Witches. So
Well,
that's
a very
you ain't
low
never
bar.
lied.
You know what?
That's a
You
very
ain't
low
never
bar.
lied.
y'all know what have made this better?
What's that?
If M. Night
Sasuke?
Shyamalan directed
Oh,
it and called it
God.
Avatar 2.
But
No, you know what made
The
it better?
Korra, they called it Korra.
If they got back the people from the last episode of Secret Invasion and gave her all the Native American powers and just
They
put it
did.
into one big CGI sequence right at the end, blew the whole 100 million budget in 10 seconds.
No, it would have been better.
But-
She had the powers of Beastmaster.
But here's the thing, and this is what I the last thing I wanna say. It's terrible, Chuck. There are like I don't want to rip this show too much because here's the thing.
Mhm.
This gets to the point where they're not going to do the shows and these characters because it was the character, it wasn't established, nobody knew it, nobody liked it, we're not gonna even try anymore. I just want them to do better. Do you know what I mean? Because I see the strategy and what you wanted it to be. You just didn't have the right puzzle pieces to execute this to the degree that it could have lifted Mjolnir. Because right now, this series could not lift Mjolnir.
Courtney,
and that's very upsetting.
I think you're taking the creatives of this series, then have nefarious intentions to make it fail.
No.
I might say maybe they did.
I don't think that I'm not suggesting they had nefarious intentions to make it fail.
I am.
I'm
suggesting they purposely
make
made
it
the
fail
fail
so people wouldn't see it.
Shut up and stop bothering us about doing people of color stuff. Because everything we do with people of color fails. We got a track record where all the data says it fails. So why we're gonna continually do this? We're gonna come back with new Avengers.
Nobody likes anything we do outside of Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, and Robert Downey Jr.
Yep.
Let's get back in. Let's get back in. Yes, let's get back in the Caucasian men, and let's.
I mean, I just think it's the people that are just thinking in terms of money. Like you want to give these stories, but you don't want to have a full indigenous writing room. And maybe they did and I am incorrect. I didn't know, but I don't know what happened there, if people's ideals and the times got in the way, because you telling me that the director said that I didn't like her powers and so I changed them. That says to me this was not the job for you. You should have let somebody else tell this story.
And that's why they hired her. You don't like this? We're gonna hire you
Right.
for this to ruin it.
I kind of see it also on
I
the
can
end
see a
of
bunch of white men doing this. White men blow billions of dollars, throw away billions of dollars just to prove a point that they're superior. This is a prime example of that. This could possibly do that. They do it all over the place.
So I look at it like this: like if Alakwa Cox, she represents several communities all at once, right? I look at it like almost like if she was a singer, like you saw her on your favorite singing show, The Voice or something like that, right? And was like, you know what? I really like her. Like she should be something. She should be a star. But then she puts out an album where they got her the worst writers, they got her the worst production team. Now her voice sounds nice, but the songs are terrible. She puts out an album with terrible videos, with terrible art on the album, and I don't think that I could do it just to be like, well, she represents these communities. So, the album was okay. You know what I'm saying? I don't want another album of that. Don't give me that. You messed up the first one. And that's all I'm saying. That what they gave us was wrong almost from jump. This could have been really, really good. And for whatever reason, if it's somebody sabotaging from behind the scenes on purpose, on accident, whatever it was, at some point, somebody reviewed this. Like they went through this, they watched this, they shot this to test audiences. Ain't nobody said nothing for real. Because you have to think, if you thought that She-Hulk was bad, if you thought Secret Invasion was bad, there's no way that you're like, oh, yeah, people are going to love this. She's Native American, she's ASL, she's the, disabled community. They're going to love it. We're going to get a pass because she's all those communities. No,
Yep.
them people don't want to be treated like they're some special. They want to be treated like everybody else. And
Yep.
unfortunately, like everybody else, they gave her a terrible show. Alakwa Cox is she did her thing.
She did what was asked of her,
She did what she could with the material that they gave her.
which I think was a lot. I know that you guys didn't. I thought that she was the standout. I thought she was great. I really liked her. I liked, as an actor, I thought she did a great job with what she had. I just wish she had more.
Yeah, it does, but it comes down to this. Like Sydney Freeman was the writer. She's Navajo. They probably put that woman in a room by herself and said, "You come and follow the scripts. We're not going to give you any rewrites. We're not going to do this. We're going to give you a certain number of rewrites. We're not going to put this in front of testing. We're not going to test the scripts. Whatever you write, we're going to go with it because we don't want to touch your authentic native hand and make this great." And she's like, "I may need help with this. I'm new at this. I'm not really good at this. I've done documentary filmmaking most of my career."
What?
So
Is that serious? Is that
I
true?
think that may be true of Sydney
Yes.
Freeman.
I wonder if that's why there's so many motorcycle shots.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like we're gonna put all the
God,
B-roll in here.
God,
All the
God,
B-roll.
Of the town landscape. Wow.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's bring this thing on to a
Oh,
home.
shoot.
Catherine, you
Oh,
got anything to say
shoot.
before we head out, man?
Stay warm.
They won't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Up in the Midwest, we're really feeling it. Chuck, what about you? You got anything to say before we head out?
Marvel, do better.
Yeah.
Marvel, do better.
Yeah, great.
Do better. Because
Go ahead.
you haven't hit any of your shows in a long time. Miss Marvel won because of the charm of Kamala Khan. The girl that played Kamala Khan carried that show on her back. And Alakwa Cox could have if she wasn't angry and brooding most of the show and didn't talking at all, really, except in sign language.
The family in Miss Marvel was dope.
The family was dope too.
The family was
You
dope.
know, the best thing they made was Moon Girl.
Mm.
I still have to watch that.
Best thing they made TV series is Moon Girl.
Mhm.
Good stuff.
And I enjoyed She-Hulk because I knew what it was. I knew it was fourth wall
Mm.
breaking. I knew that.
Courtney. Rikai, you got anything to say before we head out?
No. I'm extremely disappointed by this show. Really, I expected more. I wanted more, and I didn't get it whatsoever.
I wanted to be wrong, Rick High. I wanted to come in like, yeah, I guess I was wrong.
I
Courtney,
guess
what about you, man? You got anything to say before we head out?
I don't have anything to say. Yeah, one thing. Okay, maybe two things. One thing, Chuck. Everybody in the deaf community doesn't necessarily choose to talk,
Yes.
and they don't. I don't think it's fair to say she didn't talk. She did. She just maybe she didn't emote the way that.
No, I don't mind her emoting or anything. I just think that they didn't show her personality in this. But let me correct
And
myself. They
that
didn't show any personality in her.
that's what you meant. I just wanted to. I
Yeah,
wanted you to clarify your
even
statement.
I watch girls on ASL that do sign language all damn day talk shit, and it's amazing. It's one I have three girls on Twitter. They put lotion on their hand, and they do this, and they start signing, and it's hilarious.
No, I hear you. I just
Mhm.
wanted to. I just wanted.
Yeah,
I
so
just
I
wanted
think
you to
that's what it
give
is.
you
They had her there,
that
and they had her
moment.
quiet, her arguing, and she didn't even they didn't allow her to emote the way she should have emoted.
Right.
She was angry
Okay.
emoting the whole entire time.
What my last thing that I want to say is give us more of these stories. Just flush them out beforehand.
Yeah.
And so that we can be worthy. They can be worthy stories of that these characters will tell.
Mhm.
That's it.
Stuff, everybody. Next week we're doing Monarch, so be prepared. We're gonna do Monarch, Apple TV's Monarch. Shouts out to Digital Click. They perform all of our marketing and promotional needs. If you are considering marketing and promotional for your organizations, consider Digital Click. Shouts out to Rodney. Rodney's our technical director. You know, he provides all the transitions and all of those things. He's the dopest technical director in all of the internet, right? So shouts out to him. Shouts out to the cast of BingeWorthy. You guys, every week we binge watch a full series on top of our regular lives and other activities. So this cast is amazing and dope and always comes prepared to provide you with great analysis. The Geekish Network, we are the premier BIPOC organization, Black, Indigenous people of color. And we do this for people who look like you. So please support us. We are on YouTube, we're on Facebook, and we're on Twitch. So any of those platforms. With that being said, thank you so much for tuning in. Good night and good luck. Stay warm out there, and we'll talk to you guys next week. Peace.